I'm going to welcome up our first speaker today, somebody I seem to be spending more time with than my partner at the moment on our travels. But I'd like to hand over to Caron from Amazon, who's going to give us his journey. So please welcome Pat.
Pat Caron, work with Amazon, been there about 11 years now, and I run condition monitoring programs for the entire globe. So a little bit about me, my little kindergarten presentation I put together. Born and raised in Washington State in the US, lived there my whole life. We live on 5 acres with my family, my wife Jennifer of 13 years, and I have 2 kids. My daughter Rachel, who's 9, and my son Mason, who's 7. And we live in the foothills of Mount Rainier, so probably a stone's throw from the mountain. Yeah. Fun facts about me: I'm an archaeology, ancient history, and theology enthusiast ever since I was smart enough to read a book. I like that stuff. I think realizing with an open mind where we've come from and where we're going is quite important. So, about me. Today, just wanted to share a little bit, about my career. I know a lot of us have been in the industry for some time, and it's kind of important to look back and reflect on where we're going and what we're doing. I think it's quite easy to get lost in the churn of everything in the day to day. And up until recently, I really hadn't reflected back much on, how I started my career and where it ended up by a happy accident. So my professional career started when I was 15 years old. I started logging on the off season with my brother, and doing tree maintenance and tree work. And then from there, did my grade school stuff. Graduated high school in 2005, and then in 2007 got my associate's degree for construction management. Little fun fact. At the time when we were out of high school, all my buddies were joking, "Oh, what are you going to do when you grow up?" And I was like, "Well, got this fancy degree in construction management. Let's see where that goes." And I was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to get certified as a massage therapist." I had some grand ideas with not so positive intent, so I went and did that, and it never came to fruition. And then ended up in the trades. So I started doing residential home building out of school. And then, of course, when the economy took a turn in the States in 2009, went back into skilled trades. So journeyman carpenter, flat work, stuff like that. And then ended up with a material handling company. So installing dock equipment for warehouses, conveyance systems, stuff like that. And I kept bumping into Amazon. I was one of the few that would actually volunteer to go work on Amazon sites because, as our third-party contractors and vendors know, trying to get into an Amazon building and do any type of work is absolute pain. You're supposed to start on a Monday. By Wednesday, you've maybe agreed on what you're going to be doing after all the various layers of leadership come in and have their own say about it. I didn't mind because either way, I was still getting paid, whether the job started on a Monday, Wednesday, whatever. So I just said, the heck with it. And then so through my journey doing that, they were firing up a local building in Washington State, and the maintenance manager said, "Hey, give us your resume. Give us your resume." No, being a good old loyal company boy. And about that time, I was starting to settle down with my girlfriend and stuff like that. And I said, well, hell, probably about high time I moved from a job to an actual career. We had grand plans of kids and owning property and having a farm and stuff like that. And doing a job just wasn't going to cut it. So turned in my resume to Amazon. 2 weeks later, had a job. And then that was 2014. And then the journey began. So from that, I've been a maintenance technician. I started out as just a lowly, what we call Tech 1, just an entry level, maintenance technician, specializing on robotics equipment. When I was doing some contract work for Amazon, one of the things that I was kind of tasked to do was help install some of our early robotics floors. So folks that have known or been with Amazon for some time know that it started out as Kiva Systems, and then eventually migrated over to Amazon Robotics when we bought them outright. So my job was to, install the test robotic floors and stuff like that and get that going. And then from there, it blossomed. In the building that I started at, we had a big, giant yellow Fanuc M2000, poorly integrated, ran like hell. And I just said, huh, that looks cool. So I took it upon myself to kind of establish our preventative maintenance plans for it, training, things like that. And again, that was just at a Tech One. Um, I had some good leadership at the time, and luckily they kind of grabbed a hold of that and helped me seize the moment, and it went on from there. Ended up going to FANUC to become programming, mechanical, electrical, and trainer certified, and also did the same for ABB. It was quite the journey. I've held other roles. Eventually moved on to become a technical trainer for our advanced technologies group, specializing still in robotics. So as various technologies would deploy to sites, my job was to go out there and teach technicians how to operate the systems, teach operations how to interact with them safely and stuff like that, and most importantly, train our engineers. We had a lot of engineers that knew theory and practical application, but not a lot of them knew the technical aspects when it came to the robotic arms, let alone how to use the bloody teach pendant. So that was my job, to teach them how to use that giant thing, and design the cells more effectively and develop maintenance procedures more effectively. Um, Held other roles. I've been a program manager. I've been a reliability engineer, even though I have no degree in engineering whatsoever. I have no idea what I'm doing. Wise man once told me, fake it till you make it. I think I've done pretty well so far. Um, and now to current state. Like I said, I manage reliability programs now across the globe for condition-based monitoring. It wasn't until recently, it didn't quite sink in the sheer magnitude of what we're doing at Amazon. Um, Come to my attention that we have, outside of some oil and gas industry, we have one of the largest condition-based monitoring programs in the world. And this is not just one technology. This is multiple technologies layered one on top of the other, targeting specific failure modes and detection methods. And we cover Latin America, Japan, Europe, US, Canada, dealing with over 10,000 maintenance technicians, in various states of leadership. It's quite the feat to herd all those cats, and really kind of that on that cutting edge next step where we now bridge all those different technologies together, using data, and push ourselves into the digital age of maintenance. Because as we all know, the days of schedule and meter based and run to failure are costing a lot of money, and we really don't have the labor market available anymore to keep staffing sites the way we have been. Capital is getting tighter, so it kind of behooves us to get out in front of that, right? Embrace that digital age. How can we be smarter with maintenance? How can we use all that data, trend all that data globally across like assets, and give the technicians, instead of having them run around and use all their sensory organs and stuff like that to try and assess what the condition of the equipment is, we're going to give them the data to tell them what the condition of the equipment is and prescribe the maintenance solution. Make it easier, leaner, more efficient,